The following segment is sponsored by El Tigre Silver Corp., trading on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol ELS.V and on the OTCQX as EGRTF. El Tigre Silver Corp. Is focused on silver exploration and development in prolific Sonora State, Mexico. Find them on the web at eltigresilvercorp.com. Join me for a conversation with a frequent guest of the show, David Morgan, the Silver Guru, an expert on money, metals, and mining, also a lecturer and an author. Mr. Morgan has written Get the Skinny on Silver Investing, available on Amazon.com. His website is themorganreport.com. David, welcome back to the program.
Alice, good to be with you.
I just read something today on BusinessInsider.com where Mark Faber said, not even gold will save us from what's coming. Do you believe that?
Well, I read the same article, Alice, and, I think there's a point where things get so chaotic. I mean, what he was indicating was that if there is a complete breakdown, you've got transportation breakdowns, then, gold is probably not going to do you a whole lot of good. In the worst case scenario, you probably would want, food and water more than you would want gold. And that's kind of what that article said. Do I think it's going to go that far? And the answer is I don't know, and he doesn't know. I do think that if you had to have an asset in that kind of a condition other than food or water, then gold or silver would probably be your best, because a farmer would be more willing to trade for something of gold or silver than he would, let's say, a flat-screen TV or some other article that would store value or be easily recognizable. So I think Mark made a good point that things are really getting scary here, and that kind of backed off the gold bug scenario. But he did qualify it, really, was saying that, in a really, really bad unwinding, and he used farmland as an example, have your own land, be able to grow your own food in that article. And, of course, that's, true, but it's not very easily obtainable.
Jim Rogers was saying the same thing as well today. He stated, or is it just too late?
Well, I don't agree with them. My opinion, and really what they're saying, is they're two heavyweights, and that's their opinions. And I'm not saying don't, have your own food supply if you can, or, farm your own land. But what I am saying is that I don't think it's going to go that far. And it also is reminiscent to me of when you get some heavyweights that are kind of throwing in the towel, so to speak. That's probably the bottom. So for my, being a counterintuitive type, within the counterintuitive domain, meaning, gold being a counterintuitive investment or a contra-investment, when you got a Mark Faber and you've got a Jimmy Rogers basically saying, well, I'm not so sure I like this anymore, that could be pretty much a good indicator that we've hit the bottom.
So are these the guys that are going to come in and buy very soon?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'm sure Mark's probably got enough gold. I'm sure Mr. Rogers does. But as far as, is it over? I'm not convinced it's over, Ellis. I don't think it is.
So we're not going from almost a bank failure in Cyprus to a currency collapse in the U.S., are we?
Well, I don't think we are directly. I think indirectly. There's never been a fiat currency that hasn't really collapsed, and the dollar is the reserve currency of the world as they keep talking. But I don't think it's imminent. But I do think while you do have some time, it's probably prudent to think this thing through. And if you've got assets that need to be protected, I think you should certainly consider the precious metals to be one of those avenues. Again, what Rogers, and I didn't see the Rogers interview, but I did read the Mark Faber one. Again, it's like the worst of the worst case, and usually you're not going to see that pervasive. You're not going to see that globally, I don't think. Again, he doesn't know, I don't know, but I just don't see it going that bad, and especially as it maybe trends that direction. People have ingenuity. People are survivalists. People will band together. Look at what's happened in the real world. Look when Argentina had their currency collapse in 2000. These people got together and started putting in open-air markets and started keeping trade going, and, that you get a haircut and you could get vegetables and you can do all this stuff. I'm not saying that every culture is as robust as Argentinian, but I think people naturally will work together when times get difficult. So I just, again, don't see it. Both those guys are pretty well off. I know them both. I've actually been with both of them for a very limited time in Jim Rogers' case, but I think differently. I just do.
Your philosophy has always been the same, though. You're waiting for opportunities, and as they occur, you'll become involved. That hasn't changed, has it?
No, not really. I think there's a lot more to life than investing. I think that investing is very wonderful. I think that the precious metals are extremely important in the environment that we found ourselves in since basically August 15th, 1971, when Nixon closed the gold world, knowing that all fiat currencies do collapse and it causes problems for the general population. So, the same mantra that I've been saying for years holds. All the facts are still in place. But yet, the sun's shining and, there's still stuff going on, and there's always economic activity. It just might be curtailed for a while, but I just don't see it where, you wish you had your own farmland so you could grow real food to stay alive. I just don't see it getting that far.
Farmland next to a gold or silver mine, right?
That would work, sure.
We'll be right back. The Ellis Martin Report is sponsored by El Tigre Silver Corp, trading on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol ELS.V and on the OTCQX as EGRTF. Silver has been considered a precious metal for 6,000 years and currency since 600 BC. It's been commercially mined in Mexico since 1530 in mineral-prolific and mining-friendly Sonora State, where El Tigre Silver Corp's 5,000-meter drill program is now underway. El Tigre's properties with gold and silver mining concessions span approximately 267 square miles. With an attractive share structure and a strong, proven management team, El Tigre Silver Corp is poised to identify a resource in an area that from 1903 to 1938 produced 75 million ounces of silver and 380,000 ounces of gold. Additionally, their tailing stockpile is currently progressing to production. Learn more about El Tigre Silver Corp by visiting their website, eltigresilvercorp.com, or click through El Tigre's logo on the homepage of our website, ellismartinreport.com.
We offer expert opinions only. Find them on our website, ellismartinreport.com. That's ellismartinreport.com.
And we're back. Speaking of physical metals, several interviews ago we spoke about a website where you can actually go and make arrangements to obtain physical silver and gold. Are you still affiliated with that?
I am. It's silver123.net, silver123.net, and it's a good program really for almost any scale investor. I mean, if you're a big investor, you basically would want to place a phone call with them because, like any precious metals dealer, if you're going to move, a lot of cash into the asset class, you can get a better spread than you would if you're just buying, one coin or a roll of coins or that type of thing. And that's how all these dealers perform. If you're going to buy a small amount, you're going to pay a higher spread or a higher fee than if you're going to buy a huge amount. And that's just the way it works. So they are very much competitive with almost any dealer out there.
And tell us about themorganreport.com.
It's my life's work. It's on the internet, obviously. Go to themorganreport.com. You can sign up for our free e-letter. You'll get the 10 Rules of Silver Investing come to you over the next 3 weeks or so. You'll get a weekend update on the economic situation. All that's for free. If you're a little more aggressive in these markets, you can get the Morgan Report, which is money, metals, and mining. We go into all aspects of the global currency crisis, which we are in the midst of, or what to do to protect yourself, and we'll look for opportunities in the resource sector, not just silver, although our main focus is on the precious metal.
And you've got a fairly significant following on your YouTube channel.
I do. That thing has really exploded. I just get, 20 or 30 a day now, and it just seems to be very popular because all the interviews we do, like yours, Ellis, goes on that channel constantly, and there's probably, 3, 4, 5 a week. I get into quite a bit, as you know. And a lot of people have caught on to that. So every day I check my inbox, and there's someone subscribed to your YouTube channel.
David, thanks so much for joining me today on the program.
Okay, well, thank you.
I've been speaking with analyst and newsletter writer David Morgan. His website is themorganreport.com. Listen to the segment again on the podcast page of our website, ellismartinreport.com. This segment has been sponsored by El Tigre Silver Corp, trading on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol ELS.V and on the OTCQX as EGRTF. El Tigre Silver Corp is focused on silver exploration and development in prolific Sonora State, Mexico. Find them on the web at eltigresilvercorp.com.